Andrew brought up Scorsese earlier, and I know, Adam, you guys worked together on Silence, and obviously other guys in this room have worked with Scorsese. He's so revered. Can you weigh in on what his special sauce is? Like, what sets him apart?
I want to hear what Mr. De Niro has to say about it.
Marty, every actor who works, not just actors, the crew work with him. He's very receptive to ideas, and he's a person that'll take a chance and do something, whereas another director might have and so the more he does that, the more he lets he lets you in. You have confidence and trust in him, and he in you. And if something is not working, he'll either shoot it, but he'll cut it out, or or he'll use it, and it will be maybe a more interesting choice. But he said, okay, do it. That's happened with me a lot with him over the years.
Adam, is that what your experience was like?
And I think with other actors too, I'm sure. It's not just me.
Yeah, he seems like Silence he's been wanting to make for 28 years, and so you would expect that this would be something that, and I would have been comfortable with showing up on set, and it being a dictatorship, and being like, well, I've been thinking about this for 28 years, so I know what it is, but he's very good at knowing his subject very well, knowing everything about it, knowing the story, and being very specific, but at the same time getting on set knowing that he's been thinking about it for 28 years and not knowing what's going to happen, and being open to being wrong after been kind of just sitting over it for that amount of time. And also, I started working my way through his movies again when we were doing Silence and watched Italian American. And for me, that movie, I'm like, oh, I get it, even though that they're all, his movies seemingly on the surface are very different, like Hugo and The Departed, that they're all very personal, and they all kind of seem to come from the same place. And because they're very personal, which you can kind of see in Italian American, I think that's what makes them all good and unique and specific. The end.
Matthew, you had a relatively small role in Wolf of Wall Street, but I mean, it was very memorable. And what was that experience like for you working with Martin Scorsese?
For me, my relationship with he loves funny. He loves funny and music. I mean, on the day when 2 days we were shooting, I don't know how many words in the English language we even used back and forth to each other. Everything was he was conducting music. It was like in a boom, 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 and you were rolling. So we were kind of playing music together, in my experience. And he's got enthusiasm, an infectious laugh that you're just, you're up with. And he was like, I walked away going, you know what? Marty loves funny, man. He loves funny, and it was a joy to work with him. I felt very much like a kid working with him, and him directing, the enthusiasm, the joy he has. You're seeing this big, masterful kid just all over it. But it was music. We didn't even talk English.
Music is a good way of putting it, actually. But that's all I had to say. But there is something very musical in his movies that you feel, and on set it does feel very musical. That's a great way of putting it.
Like a conductor.
He's very sensitive to sound and the speed of scenes, and is very conscious of the emotion is getting ahead of what the actual story is, but it's very rhythmic, I guess.
Yeah.